Hi, everyone, and welcome to my live. What today is day 90 of me going live for 90 days. Ooh, I need to take a sip. Cheers. This is Stella Rosa, but it's a mocktail version. I have it on my lips. It's a mocktail version of Stella Rosa, but I wanted to have that with you for tonight because tonight is a special night. It is day 90. I completed my 90 days of going live every day challenge. And when I tell you that really was a challenge, and I just kind of want to take a walk back down memory lane. And I thought that it was falling on my sweet 16, but my sweet 16 with YouTube is tomorrow on June 30th. So I will be back tomorrow night at 6 p.m. and I hope you can join me for that celebration. But you know what? I learned so many things coming on here. I've met so many great people, as well as reconnected with people that I have been connected to in the past. And I, again, realized that if you are a content creator here on YouTube, you can't just concentrate on your content unless you are a big name like a Iana Van Zant or a Lisa Nichols or someone like that. You have a pretty deep international following already, so you don't have to really do any networking. You don't really have to go into any lives, although I've seen Ilanya, and I'm sorry if I'm chopping up her name, but I've seen her in lives before. But typically, if you are on that type of platform, you don't need to do that networking. And so, what I've come to realize is that networking is so important when you are a content creator. And that means not only putting out good content that people want to hear and see and learn from, glean from, understand, it's also going into other people's lives and looking at their videos, looking at their shorts, posting comments, having those conversations. So then they'll want to come over to your house. And so this channel is like my house. And every time that I hit live, every time I hit record, I am inviting you in. And I have had some great people stop over, stop through. That's why if you've ever left a comment, sometimes I may say, thanks for stopping by, because you stopped by. And I couldn't have done this without all of you. And I see Slasher Chick is in the building, and she has been my accountability partner since day one. And let me tell you, those were those days when I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go live today, because it's not like, nothing else is going on in life. Life is happening all around. And there are some days where I was exhausted. There are some days when I was traveling and I just wanted to get to my destination and just chill. I've had, was it two deaths? I feel like I've had two, definitely one major death in my family. And regardless, I still went live. And that showed me that I have what it takes. I have stick to itness, and I set out that goal. And even though I wasn't as strategic as I would have liked to have been, I still had that goal to go live every day. And I appreciate you so much, Slasher Chick, for being here and being part of this journey with me. You have a couple of more days to go. And you know what it feels like? It feels like packing up after you lived on campus, for a whole year at college. Or listen, when I go away on vacation, I unpack. I unpack as if I'm going to live there because I enjoy every moment of wherever I am. And when it's time to go, I feel a little, a little some kind of way. I just like, if you have ever lived anywhere, for a certain amount of time and you knew that it was going to be a deadline, you knew that you were only going to be there for a little bit. That's why I equate it to the feeling you get when you move into college and you're staying there for that full year. You meet new people, you have new roommates, or you may have a single, whatever the case may be. but you enjoy your time. And then at the end of that spring semester, and you are packing up and you're moving back either home or going to start your career and move someplace else in the country, you feel some kind of way. You feel like, oh my goodness, I'm getting ready to leave my friends. And this challenge felt like that. Today I feel like that. As the days were going, 88, 89, 90, I was like, oh, it's almost time to leave. And the great thing is, I'm not leaving. I'm not, but it just feels that way because it was every day for 90 days. And I just never thought that I would be able to do something like this, because I don't think I had even 90 days worth of lives altogether. And I've been on YouTube for 16 years as a YouTube channel holder, but a content creator for a little over 4 years. And out of those 4 years, I didn't have 90 lives. So I did what I hadn't done in 4 years. I did it in 90 days. So that means everything is possible. You put your mind to it, it is possible. You stick with it, it is possible. And I didn't do it with the end in mind. I wasn't like, okay, you know, I can't wait to get to the end. I knew the end was going to come. It felt like pledging. Listen, when I pledged, I knew that I wasn't going to pledge forever. I knew it was going to end. And that's kind of how I got through it, because I knew one day this was going to have to end. It just had to. But I didn't count those days. I savored every moment. And even here, I savored every moment, but I knew it was going to come to an end. I just didn't focus on when the end would come. And that's why it just kind of snuck up on me, it feels like, I mean, of course, I realized the days as they were going by because I mentioned them every time I had a live. I would say, this is day whatever of 90 days going live. But it just didn't sink in until today. And I feel like I'm gonna miss you, but I am going to, of course, come back. And I hope that you can join me tomorrow night at 6 p.m. for my Sweet 16 celebration. And I will be having a premiere next Saturday at 2 p.m. I'm part of the Empowerment Conference, which is Marlene Motivate's brainchild. She is the general manager of it all, bringing us all together. Boss Life Online, Pandy's Hair, Candy, and more. Be Amazing, Sylvia, and Coach Mary Ma. And we each are going to have 30 minutes to on our channel. We're going to all do premieres. So I hope you join me for that. Look for the upload. I'm going to have it on my channel, so you can ring that bell so you can be notified and have it, because it's going to be scheduled. I did it, Slasher Chick. I did. Yes, through loss, travels, birthdays, graduations, right. And new hires and moving offices. Y'all, in 30 days, no, 60, 90 days, a lot of life was happening for me. And through it all, you all came along with me for the ride, and it's been my pleasure sharing it all with you. It is bittersweet for sure. I can't believe that it's done, but glad that it happened. Yes, it's one of those, definitely a bittersweet thing. And I know that it's going to change the dynamics and the projection of my channel. I can't wait to really realize that probably at the end of this month, after all of the analytics are gathered. And I'm really going to do a deep dive with that for sure, to see just how much growth I've had. And I'll share that with you, just like I have along the way. I've done it twice, shared with you my analytics. Yes, can't wait to see the rest of my content. Thank you. It's only going to get better from here. Because it was live every day, and because I had so much going on with life, I wasn't able to be as intentional as I really wanted to be with this channel. And again, Slasher Chick has been my accountability partner, and y'all, her content is so dope, and I can't wait until it hits. Sometimes things are slow and steady, and that's really what wins the race. And I believe that's what her content is, because it's so valuable, it's so evergreen, it's so relevant, because she talks about technology and AI and mindfulness, and she has so many great strategies and tools that you can absolutely implement. And as I was learning, watching her lives and writing down my notes, I just didn't have the time to implement them because I also had to either get ready for my live right after hers, or prepare for the next day, or do what I do outside of YouTube. So it was really hard for me to really focus and do the things that I wanted to do regarding those new things that I learned. But I'm excited because I feel like I'm going to have some time to use some of those things, especially like those short videos that she inserts into her lives, where she's utilizing AI to talk and to do all of it and put it together. Listen, I just can't wait to dive into that for sure. Yes. It's the next quarter. Yes. And time for the empowerment conference. I know. I started this live shortly after the spring empowerment conference. So these 90 days was actually a whole quarter. It was a quarter. It was a season. We were in this for an entire season every day. And that's why I really wanted to go back and review all of the videos that I did and the topics, and just coming up with 90 different topics, things to talk about, things to share, because I always want people to walk away with nuggets when they come into my live, when they look at any of my videos. I want to give you an experience, even if it's my point of view of places that I've gone. So the first one, and I was trying to watch it, but I couldn't, for some reason I couldn't watch it. Then I got a little nervous, and I still am slightly nervous because I have like 50 hours of space on StreamYard. And when you start utilizing that space, I don't know what it does. I don't think it allows you to continue to record or something. So to clear out space, I've been deleting videos. And I don't they said it wasn't going to impact the ones that were uploaded to YouTube, but I don't know. I went back to try to look, and my first live is not living for me. It's the thumbnail. That's all I can see. I don't hear anything. It's playing, but I don't hear anything. And I'm just like, oh boy, what's going on? So we'll see. Listen, it's all a learning curve. And I hope that it did not impact it in a negative way. Thank you so much, Mrs. Newton, big family, big noise. Look at you in the building. I can see you. We can see you. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you so much. I really think it was Nightbot that did something, because Nightbot had a mind of his or her own. And I thought it was going to be a good idea to have Nightbot. I go into other people's lives and they have Nightbot. Nightbot, is like an assistant, a special assistant to them. Nightbot tells people, welcomes them in, reminds them to subscribe and hit the thumbs up. Nightbot will drop links. It does all these things. And it's obvious Nightbot does not do that on its own. It's some type of programming, I guess, you have to do in order for it to do that for your channel. And I'm thinking, I could just plug and play with it. And I know that a few times it low key cuts people out in my live stream. It didn't cuss people out, but it was like trying to tell some people they were out of order. And I'm like, wait, they're not out of order, Nightbot. You out of order. So I had to time out Nightbot sometimes during my lives, because Nightbot was treating my people wrong. Nightbot don't know who my friends are. Nightbot didn't know me like that. And so I don't know, Mrs. Newton, big family, big noise, if Nightbot did that to you. And I apologize. And I'm glad that you're here, though. And I'm glad and I'm thankful that even though you couldn't be seen for whatever reason in the chats, that you were still there. I appreciate that. And here you are now. So glad that you're here. Yes, that support is everything. Really appreciate it. Right. Endurance. That's what this is. Whew. This going live is definitely is for the ones that endure. that stick to itness is a thing. It's trusting the process. You don't know what the end will be. You don't know where you're going to go from here, but we do know our steps are ordered, and something great is going to come. Greater comes later, and that's what I'm excited about. And I really was doing this because I want to be more consistent on YouTube. I don't know if it includes going live every day, but definitely putting out content with greater frequency, so that especially for the new people that have connected with me, that are excited about the content and are getting something out of it, they can always look forward and know that I will be back, that this is not one and done for sure. Let's see. I know, I'm glad too. And listen, if it wasn't for Mrs. Newton coming into your lives, I probably wouldn't have known what happened, because it was from your lives and her, us having that conversation in your chat, that I found out about all of this. Oh, I can still download them? Okay. All right. From my YouTube studio. Oh, right, right. And that's what I was thinking. I was like, well, since they were posted and they are on YouTube, then I should still have access to it. Yes. Thank you. I'm glad that you have been inspired. And you might want to try a challenge like this too. Again, I know that Charlene Heal, she did a 7-day live every day. So it doesn't have to be 90 days. I don't know how I got entangled with 90 days. I believe Slasher Chick started with the 90 days, because I actually started with 30 days. And I started on April 1st. And that's when I did my first live every day, going live. And I have it as a 30-day live challenge. And I wanted to look at it because can I see? Let me see. I wanted to look at some of the comments from some of my lives, and I got 2 comments on that, and I had 31 views from that first live, and it was called 30 day live challenge. And promo, who was it? I can't even read the names. Listen, y'all, this is one of the other reasons why I do faceless, because I can't really see that good. So let me see. Oh, Kendall Graves, and they just said promo SM and gave me a thumbs up, whatever that means. And I just put yes. For some reason, I must have known what they were talking about. Never mind. We'll go to the next one. Let's see. Day 2. Nothing is perfect, right? All right. So I remember day 2. And I already, by day 2, I was kind of like, all right, let me see. What am I going to talk about on my live? What in the world? And yeah, my Nightbot was extra. Haven't you been on lives, Slasher Chick, with other people that have Nightbot, and their Nightbot is like their special assistant, And I was like, I want a special assistant. I think Nightbot will work out well for me, but not so much. And mine was just doing the most. It was like a real person. I don't know. It was strange. Yes. They thought that hand claps were spams. It was just a lot going on. It really was. Thank you. I enjoy you too. I do. Okay, yes. I still have to finish the alphabet, and we're gonna get to that too. Let me see. Oh, I'm so sorry that was. I can imagine that being confusing, because we're cool. So why would your stuff not show? Okay, so you were going to do a 30-day, and you knew it wouldn't be enough to get you fully back on YouTube. Okay. Look, I thought that 30-day was going to be just fine for me. I was like, yeah, I could do, I felt like 30 days was going to be a big challenge. I said, "Ooh, I could do 30 days. If I could do 30 days, that'll give me a good jump start." But then, you and I connected. I forget who's live, and I noticed you were doing 90, and I was like, huh, I probably could do 60. At least I could do 60. But then I said, I'm not going to leave her behind. I'm going to do 90 right alongside with her. So my second day was called Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. And in this live, I went to this boardwalk that's here in Charlotte, and I love it. This boardwalk reminds me so much of Atlanta. It's just a lot of different types of people there. They have restaurants, they have some shopping, a little bit of shopping, but they have this big man-made pond. And it's right near the Hilton that's in the uptown. Well, no, it's not in the uptown, it's in the university area. They have condos, they have townhouses that are along the lake as well. And it's just a whole vibe. And so I was just walking and talking, and that was my live for that day. So if you're thinking like, oh, I have to be at home, I have to sit down, I have to, be all set up and everything, you could be out and about and do your lives. So for that one, I had 29 views and I have 4 comments. And usually, if I have 4 comments or 6 comments, it's because I comment back. And that's why it'll always look like double the comments. So Living Water with Sister Glinda said, it looks very peaceful. Marlene Motivates said, hi, Coach Sherry. What a lovely view. All the best on your challenge. And who knew day 2 that I would have made it to 90 days? So those were the comments for that video or that live. And let me see. The next one, it was called, I, I feel like Beyonce with my niche on YouTube. I'm a YouTube Beyonce. And I said that because, I have a niche, I do, but because my channel is about workforce development, career readiness, entrepreneurship, real life, real issues, and real talk. And my life, it comprises so many different things. And I don't like to be put into a box where I'm just, regulated to this area, to this sector, to this session or whatever. No, I want to, if I want to pivot, I want to be able to pivot, and I want it to be okay. I want to be able to pivot and not have to create a whole new channel. I want you to know that all that I show you is all that I am. And it's all these things. And I find the value in everything that I do. So even if I'm living my real life, doing real talk, having real issues, I'm also thinking about workforce development, career readiness, and entrepreneurship. Because when I do those things, my real life helps me. It makes me be able to relate to people, to have empathy. It helps me to have more compassion for where people are because of my real life. And so I can't see myself just saying I'm this one thing. And so I look at Beyonce, because Beyonce will sing daggone Ave Maria. She'll sing country music. She'll sing rap, rock and roll. Like, she's a lot of different things. And I'm sure even she feels like you can't just put me in one box, in one genre. And when you are put in that one box, in that one genre, your album doesn't get nominated for a Grammy in her case. You know what I'm saying? Like, she might have some songs that got Grammys, yeah, but what album? And so that's why she's spreading her wings and just like, you know what? I'm just going to be out here touching lives, and that's how I feel. So I feel like I am the Beyonce in my niche on YouTube. That is so funny that I would even say that out loud. All right. Let's see. And so with that video, I got, let me see. I have 45 views and 3 comments. And look, I have 3 comments from one person, but 2 of those comments are from me. It's so wild. And it was from Sunshine Films. Sunshine Films is really cool. He does a lot of videos with his family, but he also travels. He does, I believe he does speaking engagements. And here lately, he's been in North Carolina, in Raleigh area and stuff like that. And so I enjoy him, and he goes on vacations, takes his family. It's cool. So he said, great conversation, Coach. And I said, thank you. Glad you were able to catch it. Oh, and then he responded back, you're welcome. So that's my comment for that video. All right. And let's look at the next one. So what was that? 1, 2, that was my third video, my third live. The next live, which is 4, and it's 3 strategies to get beyond now what? Now what? In life, we get to a point and it's almost like you get to the cliff and you're almost about to fall off and you're like, "Oh, wait, but now what?" In life, you may have, I've reached this goal, of going live 90 days. Now what? Now what? Now what doesn't make it stop? Now what? You still have to keep moving. If you are in a game, if you play football and you got tackled, you're a running back, you have the ball, you go into the goal and you get tackled at the 50-yard line, you're not going to just lay there and say, now what? No, you're going to still stretch. You're going to still try to move your feet, trying to inch to another yard. You're trying to always move forward. So that now what? So that video, I had 55 views and 12 comments. And comments came from Olivia Love, and many of you may remember Olivia Love. I know her in real life. Clarence Barnes, who was one of my other brothers, came into that live. Well, he came into the comments. P. Benson, it's Melissa B. And P. Benson came twice. So it was cool, having, that's a variety of people. That's people outside of YouTube as well as content creators. So I think that is pretty cool. So that was day 4. And let me see. I'm sure there's an easier way that I can navigate this. And you know what I was initially going to do is take pictures of all of the lives. And I was like, of the what's it called? The thumbnails. Because after I do my thumbnails, I throw those away too. And I was like, oh, let me take a screenshot and narrow it down, and then I'll put it into something and I can pull them up for this live. But I can't do that. That's too much. I'm trying to find a piece of paper because I can't keep count of everything. Hold on. Let me see. All right. So that was video number 4. All right. And let me see what you are talking about in the live chat. Let me see. We never purposely miss your comments. Oh yeah. No way. Definitely not. And she's saying, yes, I knew you guys aren't like that. So I thought it was my YouTube tripping. Yes, it was night. I'm telling you, it was something. I have a feeling Nightbot is behind this. I'm gonna blame it on Nightbot and science for sure. Science for sure. Yes. Yes, trying to stay, and niches are good. It's almost like in business, you have your target audience, of course. That makes life so much easier when you have a target audience, because if you have a product or if you have a service and you have a target audience, you basically know who you are selling to. You know all the things that they like, that they are looking for, that they need, and you're able to really focus in on creating a product or service that will appeal to them, that will attract them. Absolutely. But it's not saying that you aren't going to have other people from different genres or niches that come and want your service too. I always say what I do, especially around workforce development in particular, that my age group is 18 to 27. But I have people that are in their 30s, 40s, even 50s that participate in my programs. So I say 18 to 27, that's who I market to, but all are welcomed, and that's like with my niche. It's like I have so much that I want to share, and just saying that I'm only going to, do this one thing because I'm focused on this one type of person, then that's going to put me in a box and I'm not going to have a lot of content. That'll make me more disgruntled. That would definitely make me not want to do the 90-day challenge. If I only did what I do during this 90-day challenge, it wouldn't have been good. So days like yesterday, like talking about hip hop and when did you fall in love with hip hop, days like that, doing a book review, those types of things, those give me life as well, taking you with me to the Biltmore Estates. And even though the quality may not have been up to par, I still wanted to take you there with me. So, having that variety is something that brings me spice. I look at the only types of TV show or TV stations that are just only whatever it is that they do really are those news stations like CNN, MSNBC, um, Fox. They just do news. Even sports channels, they will have documentaries. It won't just all be games. And if it's games, it's not always all the same sport. It's football, basketball, hockey, tennis, gymnastics. It's a lot of different things. Because even when it is that NFL channel, again, they'll show documentaries and have interviews. So there's always variety, even in television stations. And I feel like that's what I am. And because there are so many wonderful channels out there, I don't expect everyone to only stay on Coach Sherry. I expect you to, spread your wings and check out everyone else too. Um, Yes, life integration and not balance. Right. That balance, it's never going to balance. There's always going to be, things are always going to be a little lopsided, and that's okay. Because, one minute you might be focused more on this, and then the next it'll be that, whatever is going to fulfill you for sure. You like the Grammys analogy? Thank you. I see RX Nails is in the building. Listen, I either have to go to Louisiana or you have to come to Charlotte. Either way, one day, I definitely want you to do my nails. And look, I don't know if you can see them. Well, I need to get them done. I was going to go today to do them, but it was just a lot going on. I'm going tomorrow. But you see, this is my color. This is my color nail. But I would love to get the sugar nail polish. Y'all, if y'all don't know RX Nails, I'm trying to tell you. And especially if you are the type of person that likes to either get your nails done on a regular basis or, have that special nail style. She is phenomenal in doing nails, even her own nails. What? I remember when you were on live and you did your own nails and you had the red bottoms underneath. I thought that was so dynamic. I'm so corny when it comes to my nails because I literally have been getting this same nail color for the past 30 years, heck. Yeah, easily for the past 30 years. So when I was in college, I used to get orange nail polish all the time, bright orange. I used to love it, love it. And then after that, like when I started working in corporate America right out of college, I was like, I don't want to have any guesswork. I don't, because I feel funny if I have on red nail polish but have on a pink shirt or, just I don't know. It just doesn't sit well with me. So when I found this neutral color, and initially it was Bubble Bath by OPI. And when I found that, that was my go-to, like, period. When they say you need to check your colors or, did you pick out your, oh, I know my color. So, but then Bubble Bath went away for a minute. It was hard to find. And so then I started just, whatever the neutral. And now it's really hard for me because, well, it's not hard, but I always have to pick out another neutral. And it's probably the same one. Just like when I go to the store and I'm like, oh, I need to get a new color, lip gloss or lipstick or something like that. Because I'm always feeling like I have the same thing on. I just have like chapstick on right now, which is what I really typically wear now, especially since C19. Do you find that you don't wear as much lipstick since C19 because we had to wear those masks and it was just a hassle? You would have your mask on, and if you took it off, if you had lipstick on and you took it off, it would be like you were the Joker. Lipstick be all up in here, all over the place, all on the mask. So, what was it? Oh, so if I go to the store and I'm looking for lipstick, right? And I'm looking at all the shades and I'm just thinking, oh, these are all really nice. I could probably go with a few of these, but let me just see which one. And I find one and I'm like, this is perfect. Wow, I know I don't have this. And I go home and I'll have 5 more just like it at the house. I always get the same exact one. So even though I don't really know the name of this color, I know that every time I pick it, it's the same color. Like, I know it. But the thing is, the people that do my nails, they're always like, you never change nail color. No, I don't. I don't. Mm-mm. But now my toes, oh yeah, I'll go crazy on my toes. Any colors, it is what it is. But this is my color. It's almost to the point I wish that I can find someone that just like, are so sure that this is my color that when I come in, it doesn't even have to be a conversation. Just get the neutral color and that's it. I shouldn't have to go through the whole let me see the colors you have anymore. Mm-mm. But yeah, RX Nail, I hope one day we get to see each other and I will set that appointment. I can't wait. Yes. Let me see. I just went on a whole tangent on that, right? Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. What is church start at 11 o'clock? Do you go to 11 o'clock service or an earlier service? Yes, I would love it. I'm thinking about maybe coming to New Orleans in September. I'm thinking about it. It's been a while. I'm trying to think. I don't. I'm not sure. I haven't been back in years. I want to say maybe since Katrina, probably. Hmm. Oh, yeah. She does red bottom nails. So underneath the nail, like underneath here, it's red. And so you have to see it. Me describing it is not going to do it any justice. So I'm not gonna front like that. But it is really, really nice. I'm surprised more people, especially if you wear really long nails, I'm surprised more people don't have it. I've never seen it before. And yes, sugar nail polish. And so when I saw her do that technique, I said, "Oh, sure." Like it's an accent. So you might get your ring finger with the sugar nail, or maybe your pinky, or your pinky and your ring. Just like a one or two fingernails on each hand. So I went to my nail salon, and I was like, and they know that I'm just this vanilla kind of person when it comes to my nail color. They do. So if I ask for anything, glitter or anything, they're like, "What? You getting? You stepping out?" So I said, I would like to get sugar nail technique done on this nail, and I just like started telling them, and they were like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, the sugar process. Like, I want to get the sugar nail technique done." And they were like, "Mm-mm, never heard of it. Like, not going to even look it up." They wouldn't even look it up on Google. They said, "Nope, I don't know what you're talking about." And I'm like, "What?" And so I told RX Nails, I was like, "They don't even know what that is around here. You would make a killing. I'm telling you, it's a whole process." So in lieu of getting the sugar nail, I just said, "Well, just put some like clear glitter on here. That's just a glitter." Not the same at all. Yes, definitely check her out, especially with your girls and stuff. Y'all would love it. Definitely. And you're saying yes, just natural. Yes. And you on your mood, okay. So that's why my mood can be all over the place. So let me just keep my nails neutral so they at least look halfway. And then I listen, I get my money's worth out of my manicures or whatever you want to call it, because I do the SNS as well. And they last a long time, but they last even longer when you get the neutral, because really people can't tell when it's growing out because it looks like your nails. I know because I'm pointing it out, you could probably see it better. But yeah, I always do the SNS, and because I know if I had any other color, you can definitely see it when it starts to grow out. Okay, you don't wear lipstick anymore since it. For some reason, lipstick doesn't even adhere to my lips right anymore. It's almost like it doesn't stay on as long, and it's just annoying to have to keep applying it. Like, I'll put it on in the morning, and then that same, like, within an hour it's gone, because I go like this, or I don't know, I'm just always doing something, and it just does not last at all. Let's see. I'm enjoying this chat. Oh, lavender is beautiful. That's a beautiful color for the summer. That's something I would get on my toes. I love it. I've seen that purple. I like the matte color. If I was a person that wore dark colors, and I know lavender is not a dark color, but if I wore dark colors like black or dark red or purple or even like a emerald green, I would get it in matte. I think that looks so good. Oh my goodness. But I just dare not to do it. Mhm. Yes. Right? Lavender sounds really pretty. My daughters, they wear really pretty colors on their nails. You agree with, if I'm a regular, do you know what I would like? Just be ready. Right. I'm coming in. I mean, I wear my banyang, so I'm that one with the banyang. And I'm walking in, they know. And then when I pick it, they're like, "You always get this." Yeah, I do. So I wish you would like please have it ready. That would be so amazing. So amazing. Because I would do that. If you have a customer or a client that is always, I mean, I guess they probably are like one day she might come in here and she wants to get purple or yellow, so we don't want to assume anything, but they can assume with me. They really can. They can. I would love it. Oh, the glitter. I've never done glitter on my toes, I don't think. But if I go to like a wedding or a special event, I always try and get a little bit of glitter. That's like my decoration. I never have gotten a real decoration. Oh, and RX Nails does really nice with the designs and stuff, y'all. She has really good shorts too. So if you want to just like check out her shorts, but I loved that live RX Nails that I got in with you a couple of months back now when you were again doing um the red bottom, but then the top was a different color. And just, I think you did black nails. You did black, but then you had that black sugar nail. That's what it was. And I loved it. I thought that was that was really nice. Hmm. I know you must wear all colors and you have access to all the best colors too, for sure. Hmm. Yes. Red nail polish is one of my mood boosters. Okay. A lot of people that do training, and they tell you this when you do professional training or even teachers, to wear red. So when you're pointing to things, people can kind of see your fingernails act as your pointer, more or less. Hmm. It's a little early tomorrow. Okay. I got you. Yeah, it's that time of year when pastors are traveling. When I went to church with my dad on Father's Day, and I know he was hoping that his pastor was going to be there. We're like, oh, we could take a picture with the pastor and all this. Um, his pastor wasn't even there. He was at another church, and then they had a guest pastor who, y'all, I'm telling you, pastors can do such a good job if they want to. I love a teacher preacher. One where you get 3 points. They read the scripture and then they have these 3 points that they're making, and then they wrap it up and bring it all together. But you remember those 3 points. I remember we used to go to Saint. I think it's Saint. No, well, his name was Pastor Luter, and it was in New Orleans. And this was the first time that, like, I was always on time when I went to church because the message was always so good. And you know what he would do? He would, I wish I could remember the name of the church. It was in New Orleans, Pastor Luter. But when he was preaching, right, and it was a full congregation, he would pick people's names out. So, say if he was and I'm sitting there, he might say, Sister Sherry, boom, 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 boom. He brought people in. You never knew when he would say your name, but he preached like he was talking directly to you. And I was always taking down notes. And then when I came back, I would call my family and I'll be like, read this scripture. These are the 3 key points that can help you do this through this week. Because nowadays, people will say like, yeah, I went to church. Okay, what was the message? Um, It was good. What what was the message? They did a good job. They had, youth day or whatever, and it's like, I want, what's the nugget that you got? What's the thing that's going to take you through the week? And so the visiting pastor at my dad's church, these lights are so bright to me, and I don't even have on bright lights, but maybe it's just my vision. But all he did was yell. Even my father said he was a hollering preacher. He was just yelling. He was confusing the musicians because they were like, how like there's a point in towards the end of the sermon when the preacher will start to yell, or to do what they do, and then the musicians will go back and they'll start playing because they know it's about to wrap up. They never left. They never left their seat. They didn't play, but they just always, you always felt like, is this the end? Because he was just yelling the whole time, and then finally they wrapped it up for him. So yeah, I'm just going off on like tangents to see. Like, I'm sorry, I digress. These are all sidebars. Um, my middle daughter, my center child, she loves black nail polish. Yeah, to binge watch RX nails. Yes, yes. Especially your older daughter, she'll probably really enjoy it too. Yes, definitely enjoy church tomorrow, and I hope that your family really has a good time. Let me know what the word was. I love it. If I, tell me the scripture, and I would just love that. SNS is so it's like a powder. So there's no drying time, and that's why I really love it. You don't have to put your hands underneath the rays or anything. It doesn't have to dry like that. So they put like something over your nails, and then they dip it, and they dip it in the color that you want. So they dip it, and then they do all that, then they put something else and they dip it again, and it's amazing how it's the color. And then some people, if they get a darker color, I noticed it'll go on their hands, like on their fingers, but they're able to, it's almost like it stains it, but they're able to take that off. I don't know what they use because I never get the regular color, but I just look around and I see other people getting the colors and stuff. So yeah, it's like a powder that they use. I know some people don't prefer SNS because they say that is maybe not sanitary because everyone's kind of dipping their hands. And that, when you look at it that way, it is kind of like, ugh. But because everyone's kind of dipping their hands in the same thing. But the salons I go to, you have to wash your hands before they do anything, and they wash their hands too. So, but at the same time, you just don't know how well people. They tell you to wash your hands. You don't know how well people. Some people might just turn the water on and put their hands near it, and then pretend like they did something and don't really wash it. I don't know. I don't know. I just, pray over everything. Hopefully it'll all work out. Um, oh, that's right. Just your family are going. But you have to help get them ready. Are all the kids going? I love a big family. Olive green. That would be really pretty. That would be. That would be different for sure. Yes. Do they sing in the choir also, your children? Do they have a youth choir? I used to love singing in the youth choir, but they didn't prefer it. So my mother sang like Mahalia Jackson. She did a phenomenal job, and yeah, singing really wasn't my ministry. More it was more of the ushering piece. And when you have a parent or sibling or someone that can sing, they expect everyone to be able to sing, and I don't know how I missed that one. But I did for sure. But I loved going to choir rehearsal. I just loved the social part of it. I loved being with my peers and just having a good time. And yeah, I enjoyed that part of it. But that wasn't my calling quite. Not really. Um, oh yes, definitely. Wow. that'll give you some time to definitely reflect. And I appreciate you, Slasher Chick, for, keeping that conversation up in the chat for sure. Um, it seems like there's been a lot of loss here lately and a lot of unexpected. And so we have to remember, no matter how strong we think we are, no matter, how busy we become before, during, and after, we have to still take time to process that. Not having that seat filled at the table any longer is really challenging. The circle of life is not easy as some people would like to portray it to be. And I feel like everyone should get grace and the space to grieve the way that they need to, for sure. Hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yes. Oh, that's going to be good. Putting your hands in the earth is good therapy. Hmm. Let me see. Sometimes the rain cools things down, or sometimes it can make it even that much more humid too. Hmm. Yes, what was the service about? He even asked the children, they have gotten used to taking notes because of that. That's good. And those notes are things that they can look back on, and that's why notes are so valuable. That's good. I'm glad that he asks that question. Hmm. I always ask. Okay, yeah. From from gel. Uh, Yes. So I used to get gel too, and I noticed that gel really wasn't lasting that long, but this SNS lasts so much longer, and I feel like my nails thrive better with it. But I remember back in the day when I used to get the acrylic, and acrylic, man, once it started getting old and lifting, at least with the SNS, it doesn't lift like that at all. I love it. I really do. All right, Snell, which do your clients typically get more of? Is it acrylic? Is it SNS? Is it gel? And I believe there's another new one too that's out, a new method. I'm not sure what that is, but I'm curious. What else do they get? So my fifth video, I'm not going to go through all 90, but my fifth video was, you know what? And that one got 30 views and no comments, actually. Let me see. I don't want to play it. Um, oh, let me try to find it. So that was my fifth one. My sixth one was the white dress. And that's when I was looking for a white dress for my daughter's graduation. And y'all, that was just Mm, it's amazing. She wears like a size 6. So you would think, oh, you can find a white dress anywhere. And and it was still in the spring, the beginning of the spring. So you should be able to find a white dress. But that was the most challenging thing. And I remember going to the mall, and I think I was live in the parking lot of the mall. And the mall was closed when I got there. It was just closing. And I was just like, I can't win. Oh my goodness. But that one, the white dress, it got 68 views and it got 9 thumbs up. It didn't get any comments, no comments. The next was The Importance of Thinking Again. And Thinking Again is the book that I have for my team, and it's by Adam Grant. And it's a really good book for professional development, for team building. And it helps you to not just think that what you have is the end all be all. It's sometimes you have to pivot and think again. And it gives you some really good strategies on how to do that. And with that, it was 23 views. I got 8 thumbs up, 2 comments. And remember, Think Again was about BlackBerry and Apple phone and how BlackBerry did not think again. And oh, I'm glad to see. Because during that live, I was concerned about Google. I was like, with all these new AI tools like Chat GPT and such, what are people doing? They don't have to go to Google anymore. But Google has that new one out now called, what is the Google one called? Um, Let me see. Do you remember what it's called, Slasher Chick? It's called Gemini. Gemini. And Gemini, I mean, it has some work to do. It needs to be tweaked a bit, but I'm just glad that Google tried to put something together, Um, it should really dominate this. If they can do it right, if they can get it together, I feel like it should be able to dominate this part of the market, because Google was the end all be all. No one went to Yahoo or Yahoo to do any searches really. A lot of people went to Google to search information, names, whatever. And so I hope that they get Gemini together, because that they need to think again so they can remain relevant and number one for searches. Then I did what motivates you, and I got 27 views on that and 4 comments. What is your gift? And that was 20 views. Plan your business using your 7 Ps, and I got 70 views on that. 10 things to consider quitting to achieve success. Now, this one, I had a challenge with the live. I forget what happened, but I did the first part, which was 1 through 4. And then I did another one that same night, and that was 5 through 10. And I think that's when I started also utilizing my podcast playlist, and started to reintroduce everyone to Real Talk with Coach Sherry podcast, which is still part of YouTube. And so that was, I'm lost count of which day that was. But then I had 5 reasons why you should be on LinkedIn, and that got 16 views. The process of becoming, and that was 68 views. And that was actually the empowerment conference for the spring. So that was the process of becoming. And that empowerment conference was, it was the spring of 2024. I can't really see it on my, for some reason it's not showing me on my, I can't really see it. I can't really see it. It's too small. Y'all, my eyes. You'll probably say, get your glasses. I don't want to though, because then it's like this glare also. Then the next was mastering the interview, pro tips and techniques. And that got 30 views. Mingle Monday, and that was 30 views. Celebrating my mother, and then it was a conference day 1 recap, and that was 20 views. And I believe that's when I was at a conference, and I was a presenter. I presented and was on a panel, and I believe I got an award there, and it was in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And then it is for all ages, and that was 20 views. And then the A through Z guide to personal and professional growth, and that got 30 views. And that's the one that's the gift that keeps on giving, because it's the A through Z guide to personal and professional growth. And that one I recorded on April 18th. And so there's 26 letters in the alphabet. I should absolutely be done with that. But I'm actually only on like the 4th or 5th letter in the alphabet. And so I can continue that for sure, because in that particular live, I went through what each of them were, but I'm also doing lives doing a deeper dive in what each of them are individually. So I'm doing, I did A, B, C, and I did D. I don't think I did E yet. So I love that. That's another opportunity to continue to have really good content. Choices in life. And I also walked around Charlotte during this one, and that was 31 views. It was a beautiful day. And in that video, I had taken you to 2 of my favorite parks in Uptown Charlotte. I love finding parks in the middle of a city. That's just such a polar opposite thing. A city is such a hustle and bustle, but when you can find the peace and calm in the middle of all that in a park, that is so dope to me. And then something else Saturday, that's 30 views. I think that's when I took my dad to Baltimore to visit his sister. She was in the hospital, and so we went on that Saturday, and she actually passed away on that Monday. Um, and that's all the aunts I have, y'all. Whew, that was I was thinking about her and all my aunts the other day. Like, wow, I had some great women in my life for sure, and you know, it's good to have that experience so that you can glean some of their personality and remember it when you get into certain situations, and ask yourself too, like, what would they have done, what would they do, what would they say, how would they, be compassionate in this moment. Because my aunt was a good person. When people are good to you, remember that, and pay it forward and be good to others too, for sure. Future Sports Complex, and I got 23 views, and that is old Lowe's, and it has been closed for years in Virginia. And y'all, I have my eye on it for it to be a sports complex. I actually spoke with someone that works in the front office at Lowe's not too long ago. I'm on the board with him now. So he's going to see me because he hadn't gotten back to me about like what is going on with that. Before that day, and I've gone to visit it periodically, it's always been empty. But again, now I'm looking in and I see that they had some pallets of things, maybe almost like a warehouse, a storage. So I don't know what's going on, but that building and that land it sits on is way too valuable for it to just be for storage. And that area needs too much for it to just be that. So I'm hopeful for it. And then the next one was being transparent with my channel's analytics. I had 31 views, and that's when I looked at my my YouTube back office, with the audience, watch hours, the way that the ages of my audience, just all kinds of things. If you haven't looked at that on your YouTube channel, I recommend that you look at that, because that also helps to determine like how are you going to pivot. And as I'm going through this, even looking at the number, the fluctuation of the numbers of my views, that's a telltale sign too of what you need to do more of. So I'm hopeful to be able to configure all of this, maybe put it in some type of chart and be able to see when I go after this month, which is Monday. And when I look at all the things that YouTube is saying, with the back office, maybe they can tell the story. That's what data does. It tells the story. So I need to know, what is the story being told to me about my channel and what direction I need to go into. All right. I see Slasher Chick is saying, yes, it gives you future content for a while, right? That A through Z for sure. Also, I did social capital and social proof, and that was 16 views. And the great thing about YouTube, and this is why I also say, like, Slasher Chick, when that right person catches on to your content, it is going to fly, because it's it's not one and done. It's not like if people aren't in your live and they come later, the people that come later count too. They mean something. They count too. So for those of you who are out here and you might look at your views and you might get discouraged because, like, oh, nobody's watching my content. One day they will. And when they do, it's going to be amazing. So continue to just be consistent and put things out there, because when it hits, you want to have a menu of things that they can go back and watch. Because I know for me, when YouTube suggests new content creators to me and I find them interesting, oh, I binge watch them. I want to see all the things that they have to going on. But if they only have like 3 or 4 videos, it's like, what? It's almost like looking at a really good series. And that's why I always typically would like the series to finish out before I start looking at the episodes. Because when I look at that one episode and if it's good, oh, I want to watch all the other episodes too, right away. I don't want to wait week after week. That's how it used to be with TV. It was like, you had to wait until that next week. There were no reruns, you know, or recording them or anything like that. They didn't play throughout the week, giving you a chance to catch up. It wasn't like that. It wasn't on demand. None of that. You had to watch it when it came on. And so I don't have patience. I'm like these young people now, they want the microwave results in terms of what they look at and the information that they receive. And so if I go to a new content creators channel, I'm like, okay, what else do they have? Wow, that was so good. And then it's like, I wonder what made them stop. You know, why didn't they put more content out there? And maybe because they felt discouraged because no one was watching or commenting. But don't do it like that. Keep putting that, keep churning it out, because the right people are out there. What did they say? Who said it? Let me think. Keep doing what you're doing because the right people are watching. You know, I always say it's not the people that you see, it's not necessarily the people that are in your chat, it's not it could be the people that are out in the streets that you didn't even know were watching and say, hey, I saw your video. But it's other people that you don't know that's going to make that impact and make that difference. It's the people you don't see, the people you're not aware of. It's the ones that aren't in the chat, the ones that don't drop down in your comment section, that are telling a friend. They're the ones that sharing your videos. You know, you don't know who all. I'm so shocked to see in my analytics how many of my videos are shared every week. I'm like, what? Because if it's shared on your community wall, if someone shares your video on their YouTube community wall, you will be notified. So you'll know, oh wow, like they shared my video. But if they share it somewhere else, you don't know it unless they tell you. I shared it on Reddit. I shared it because I know Tuber Chat Connect and Grow. Sometimes he'll share my content and I love it on Reddit. But he'll let me know I shared it on Reddit. Somebody might share it on X. Somebody might I share content with my 3 young adults. I'll send them the link to our group chat. You know, I'm like, y'all check this video out. You don't know that as a content creator. You don't know when people do that. So you don't know who's sharing your video with someone that they know needs to hear what you have to say, to someone that they know needs to learn what you have just taught them. And so that's why I just keep going, because listen, it's almost like being a realtor. All you need is one buyer. All you need is one person to sell to. That's it. And that one person might buy a multi-million dollar house. That one person may buy multiple houses from you. They bought that one house, but guess what? They are buying investment property too now. They're buying commercial property. You know, you might be their in-house realtor at this point. So just, you know, make content. And I had learned this today, you know, when you're talking, talk as if you're talking to one person. Talk as if you're talking to one person. I remember, you know, this person, y'all, and I don't know, maybe one day, one day, because I talk about this, you know, sometimes it depends on what the topic is when I'm doing speaking engagements outside of YouTube. And maybe one day I'll share it, you know, on YouTube. But for me, you know, having my own career, my own path, my own legacy is so important. You know, many people can marry successful people, right? But you need to be successful too. Don't ride the coattails of anyone, you know, wear your own coattails. And so that's another reason why I do what I do. But I'm so fortunate to be able to do what I love to do and what I'm great at. And the way that my career has been developing has been remarkable. And I just remember one time someone said to me, someone, you know, of pretty high influence, let's say, said, they told me about me, like as if they were there. You know, they were just like, this is how you do this, that, and the other, boom, boom. And I'm looking at them like, like literally, I just met you though. How do you know all of this about me? I never saw you in the room. I never saw you there. How do you know all of this about me? And they said, I'm everywhere because I know everyone. I know a lot of people. And people come back and tell me, there's people out here that have other people in places that they just can't go to because they're so busy going to other places. And so they have people that run tell that. They run and tell them the good things. They run and tell them the bad things. And if you are in a situation where people are running and telling that, you want them to run and tell something good that you're doing, something great that you're doing, because you just don't know how that's going to impact you and your career, you and your business in the future. You know, and I always knew that. I always knew that. You have to watch your posture. That's why I say you practice how you play. You could be practicing and someone's watching how you practice and know, like, wow, they practicing like that. If they do half of that in the game, they gonna win. But if you practicing like it ain't nothing, like you half behinding your practice, if you just, lackadaisical with it, then they gonna know that that's what you gonna do. And that's also how God blesses us. When he sees you take care of the least of things, of the least of what he gives you, he knows that when he blesses you with even more, that you're going to even do soar even higher, that you're going to take even that much better care of it because you're going to be that much grateful. Be grateful for the little things, take care of them, nurture them, you know, eh, do your best in every situation, even if it's a crowd of one, if it's a crowd of thousands. Always, that one person can be the one that connects you with that crowd of 1,000. So, y'all, I'm sorry if I don't know what's going on. These are all sidebars, by the way. Let me see. Oh, I'm glad, Slasher Chick. Oh my goodness. Yes, wear your own coattails. Yes. So that's what they said, Mrs. Newton. They were like, and it was a really big, it was kind of like, like Nick Nimmin. It was, like his crew, somebody, like one of those type of people. And it was like, how do you grow your channel? And the person said, you talk to your audience like you're talking to one person. People want to have that connection. They want to seem as if they're having that one-on-one communication with you. That's why I love one-on-one coaching sessions. I love group coaching sessions too, yes. But sometimes in groups, a lot of, some people won't say anything, and I feel like everyone needs to have a voice. And if you direct your conversation to one person, that one-on-one, even if it is a room of many, that's why Pastor Luder was so dope in how he did it. When he called your name, you felt like he was talking to you. Have you ever been and heard someone talking and you just, well, I'm talking for myself. I'm just asking you if you've experienced this too. But if you're in a situation like a big group, someone speaking and they're dropping these nuggets, they're talking, they're presenting, they're speaking, and you feel like, who told you to come here and talk to me? Hold on. Like, you are talking to me right now. Like, that's how you should communicate in with your channel. That's basically what this person was saying today, that you should communicate as if you just have that one person and they are feeling it. You're like, they're looking around like, wow, that's for me. And then it just ends up being, you look around and everyone's looking like that. That's why I say yes, when I'm in events or something, or at events, and I'm feeling like the person that's speaking is speaking to me. But then when you go during intermission or at the end or whatever, at break or whatever, and you're talking to other people, or you might overhear other people saying basically the same thing you've been feeling, like, wow, that was so powerful. I can't believe it. I heard this at the right time. I needed that. I needed to hear that. God brought me here for a reason, and you want people to feel that way when they come to your channel. Even if it's to share an experience like at the Biltmore. Maybe someone didn't think that there was beautiful estates in the country that they live in the United States, or they can't get out the house because they can't get out the house. So you take them and you let them know, come on, Turn on your camera. I mean, turn on your TV, turn on your phone, click on my channel, and come on, come walk with me. Come with me. All right. All right. Yes, be grateful for those little things, y'all. I remember my son when he was younger. I used to be like, dude, you need to clean your room. And he'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna clean it. When I get my own place, boom, boom. Listen, you practicing right now. You showing what you might do when you get your own place. You need to keep this room clean, take care of this. And when you get your own and when you get more, you're gonna even do better with it. Because you're practicing. Just like when you are a sibling, you are practicing how to be in relationships. You're practicing how to communicate with different people. That's why God gives us these families. We're born into these families, and everybody's so different. Don't be mad at your family members that are different. Mm-mm. Don't be mad at them. Love them anyway, right? Because they are teaching you how to deal with all different types of people. And that's a beautiful lesson. Just think about people that lived in silos and did not weren't integrated into any type of community. They were allowed to not go. They were given choices like, you want to come? No. All right, well, we'll be back. Listen, you want to go? What? Um, Come on, we're leaving and you coming too. How about that? So, you are learning how to be in all different types of relationships. And it's like you accept people, you love them anyway. I remember my dear friend, her mother told me that before. It was like, you know, love your aunts and your uncles because those are your mother's sisters and brother. Like, you even looking at it that way is so deep. Love them anyway. You don't have to live with them, luckily, right? So, and then when you're of age, you can move away if you have to, if you are living with them. But you're learning how to deal with all different types of people. Don't you meet a lot of new people and you be like, wow, I got somebody just in my family just like that. Mm-hmm. That was your lesson. We all have an assignment. Prepare for the future. Yeah. Yes. Mm-mm-mm. So I also had another one on 10 steps to become more assertive, and that was 31 views. It's Friday Eve, let's chat, and that was 26 views. I had figure it out. I don't know how I had figure it out Friday too. I wonder if those were two. I don't know. Oh, Friday Eve. Okay, yeah, right. This is how I know. Look, when it's getting late, what time is it? 11:23. What? When it starts to get late, I start to like not see things the way they're supposed to be seen. But Friday Eve is what I call Thursdays. Thursdays just kind of like a weird word to me. So even when I'm in meetings on Thursdays, I'm always like, Happy Friday Eve, everyone. What's going on? What's popping? We made it. So yeah, that's Friday Eve. So then it was Figure It Out Friday. I had one. This and that one got 22 views. This, that, and the other, that was on a Saturday. That got 31 views. And that's the other beauty. Everyone gave me so much grace. I don't think people came to my channel expecting one thing or another. They were just like, we here to support you, Coach Sherry. What's up? And that's why I appreciate everyone. And I say that often, and because I really do. You are giving me this platform to be who I am and without any judgment. Listen, somebody, oh my goodness. You know what? Sometimes when you go to other channels, you shouldn't have to think about, should I make a comment? If I make this comment, somebody might say something. Why can't you just make a comment and it is what it is? Listen, you know what? I'm not even gonna go down that rabbit hole. It's okay. All right. What? Okay. Another one that I did was life quality audit and assessment, and that got 20 views. Make It Happen Monday, and that's 22 views. And so I started seeing a little pattern. I was like, all right, I'm rocking like about 20 to 25 people rock with me every day, some form of fashion. So that's cool, you know. And then Let's Talk Tuesday, and that's 21 views. And that's also why I want to grow my channel organically. You know, I know that there's different ways that you can grow your channel, and you know, I want it almost feels like a money grab, you know, like it's just different ways. Let's just put it that way. There's different ways you can grow your channel. But I like to grow mine slow and steady because I want my views or my participants to be kind of aligned with the number of subscribers that I have. I don't want people to feel forced to subscribe to me. I want them to want to be subscribed to me. You know, if you on my team, I want you to be on my team for real. I don't want it to be kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I get it. You say that before you join, absolutely, because you want to see like, well, what is she? Is she consistent? What's going on? But I want you to really want to be here. And no, you might not rock with every video, but the ones you do, I'm glad to see you. Right. But if you are just being told to subscribe, like, you know, yeah, just do it. She needs help. um, you may never come back. You may never come back. And I know back in the day, YouTube used to see that. They would look at stuff like that and they would take them out. They would shake it up. They would take your bag, and if people weren't sticking, oh, they was shaking them out your bag. And then you wake up and you will be like half the number of subscribers. Like, wait, what? How I lose 50? I promise you. I remember one time because I was kind of doing that. Like, okay, how do you grow? It wasn't like it was authentic. It was, but then not everyone is in it for the right reason, and that's the thing. So that's why you want to find a tribe where people are more like you, that people have compassion, they have empathy, that people have integrity, that people are real. You know, they're not just out here, you know, ditching and diving, you know, shaking and baking. You want people that are, you know, really, they not shaking and baking. They putting the flour in and whatever else. Look, I shouldn't even be talking about how to cook any food because I'm not a cook at all. All right. My first fried chicken I made, I didn't even use flour or hardly any grease. And the last time I tried to cook fried chicken, I practically burnt my kitchen down, had a grease fire. So I can't really talk about anything cooking related. All right. I digress. So I had Make It Happen Monday. Then I had Let's Talk Tuesday, and that got 21 views. Benefits of sticking with a challenge. All right. And I think that was another time that I showed some more analytics, but that was 15 views. I had chat with my daughter doing an evening walk, and that's when we walked. There's this trail in my neighborhood that is bizarre. What it is the it is a bizarre trail. And you know, she came home for the weekend. I forget, why did she come home? It was before her graduation though, and so her and I were, you know, just walking and talking, and that got 21 views. Guess Who? Iconic R&B hits, and that got 24 views. That was kind of a fun live. Family Matters, and that was 30 views. Create Personal and Professional Boundaries, and so that was the B, and the A was let me see. Oh, what's about being assertive. So the 10 steps to become more assertive was the A. Remember the A through Z? And so periodically you'll start seeing those letters pop up. And so the B was the create personal and professional boundaries. The boundaries was the B, and that got 22 views, but it got 10 thumbs up and 3 comments. Make It Happen Monday, that got 32 views. And then I'm trying to also see, because I know that thumbnails also matter. And it seems like when I have my picture on a thumbnail, I get more views. But I don't always like to do that. So I'm being stubborn at this point. you know, um, I am. And I know, and I looked, I also Slasher Chick, because you were showing us that YouTube now has it where you can put in three thumbnails and then they will select the one that is like best suited for you, for your video, that that will attract more people. Slowing down to take baby steps towards change, that got 19 views. Your values, the ethical anchors, and that got 17 views. The question is, why do people lie? What? And that got 34 views. Why even bother? I tell people I need to look at you and know what you're telling me is the truth. I don't have time to decipher all of that. All of that. Why? All right. Building your personal brand. We've got 17 views. A mother's unconditional love, and that got 15 views. That was, I believe that was, no, that was the day before Mother's Day. So that was on a Saturday, because on Mother's Day is when I walked with my center child and my oldest son. My youngest was still in school. It was Mother's Day stroll with two of my three hearts at Freedom Park, and that got 29 views. That was a really nice walk. I enjoyed them. I enjoy my kids a lot. Listen, some people, and I don't know, Mrs. Newton, if you're still in the building, but enjoy every single moment, every stage of your children's lives. I feel like as a parent, not only do they grow and, have to adjust, but so do we as parents. And if you adjust with your kids in the different stages that they are in life, you will enjoy every moment. I didn't have terrible twos, and my kids are all 20 months apart. So when my baby, who's, the youngest of three, when she was born, my son was 3.5 years old, and my center child was 20 months old. So my center is exactly 20 months older and younger than my other two, exactly to the day, almost to the hour. It's crazy. But I never had a terrible two. I never had trying teens, never had challenging adults, none of that. Like, we are 3 out of 3 over here, for real. And I don't take that for granted at all. I know that it was not all me, was not all my husband. It was all God, for sure. And he just blessed us with those three amazing gifts. They are amazing people. And don't always just tell them, listen, they got great things to say. I love hearing them, and I love, being wrong sometimes and saying, you know what, I didn't even think of it like that. You're right. I'm gonna consider that. They know what they're talking about. They do. And respect that and let them know, like, you can stand up and say what you have to say. What is it? Because they're going to we're grooming the next generation. And it's funny because my youngest is like, I don't want to get all political on here or anything, but she said, you know what, it's your generation's fault. And I was like, what? She was like, who's next? Like, who y'all got? Why are we stuck with this? I said, you know what, you're right. Who's next? Yo, I'm about to run. I'm about to run for president. My daggone self. All right. Anyway, so just enjoy every stage of being a parent. It's almost like potty training. I remember I had to be ready. My husband had to be ready to potty train, because that takes dedication. And you have to develop in a different way as a human being when you are potty training your kids, when you're doing anything leading up to new stages of their life. Everything is not common to everyone. Things have to be taught. Things have to be groomed into people. And so you can't just like throw them out to the wolves and expect them to roam and be good. You have to give them the tools, the resources, the confidence, the experience, the love, for them to be able to roam and roam well. And that's what parenting is all about. And even if you don't have children, you have children. You do. You have people in your life, young people that are looking up to you for many reasons. So figure out, how are you pivoting with them? How are you maturing with them as well? Again, y'all, this is it's a mocktail. It's Stella Rosa. and it is so good. It is so good. Carter's Eat this morning, I was in her live, and she was like, she's my soror as well, and she was like, I saw you at Biltmore soror, and I've been there before, and it's a lot of walking, and I was concerned for you. Like, how did you do it? How did you handle it? And y'all know, unbelievably so, I was diagnosed with HOCM, which is, and I'm now probably going to forget what it stands for, cardiomyopathy, obstructive sub whatever. I have an enlarged heart, and it makes it challenging for my blood to flow through, right? When I was diagnosed with it, they said that a lot of times people don't get diagnosed. They die because their heart, it's just too big and it doesn't allow the blood to flow. And a lot of times it's athletes that get this, right? So when you see someone who's in shape, like running, and they say, oh, they had a heart attack suddenly or whatever, oftentimes they've had HOCM. And it's something that you're born with. So it's a genetic heart disease that I never knew I had. And I've played sports. I'm active. I'm hyper. I love life, all that. And so when I found out about it, it was a shock to me. Um, it was a shock to me. And at first, like, oh my goodness, that first year, after being diagnosed with it, I was like, I was getting so worse. I was getting worse. I felt it. Um, and I had to actually go to the hospital a couple of times, like to stay. And they wanted to do surgery. They were like, they wanted to do open heart surgery. What? What you mean open heart surgery? What? And they were like, you have three options. Open heart surgery, where they would cut off part of my heart. What are you talking about? Don't you need your whole heart? Um, and then I would say, I have a big heart, literally and figuratively. And then they were saying, well, if we don't do it that way, we can do a heart ablation, where we take something. And and as they're talking, I'm like low key passing out, like not passing out, but blacking out, because I'm trying to think, who are they talking about? And so, they was talking about this heart ablation and how it would cut off the supply of the blood to a certain part of my heart. And then eventually that part of my heart would shrink. And I'm like, shrink? Will it fall off and fall in the body somewhere? And then what? I'm going to pee it out? Like, how does this work? Listen. And so the third option, which is what I'm doing now, is medicine therapy. And so, just making sure that the medicine that I'm taking is doing what it needs to do, which is slowing my metabolism down. Y'all, look at me for real. Before me taking the medicine that I take, it's a beta block. You talk about 10, 100. I'd be on 100 all the time. So I'm like chill right now. I'm chill. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I'm laid back because of it. Like, it literally makes me low key mellow. And so far it's been okay. I mean, I've had to have adjustments here and there with it. At first it was too much, too little. And actually I changed my own dosage. I told them, look, low key, I'm a doctor. Because when I took care of my mother, I never thought I would need to know all the medical terms and all this, that, and the other, the ins and outs. But I learned it. And I sometimes you have to tell the doctor what's best for you. You have to listen to your body, your intuition that's telling you, like, no, don't take that. Because, like, some of the medicine at first that they gave me was so much, and I didn't appreciate how it was making me feel. And I was like, I'm not taking that. And I didn't tell my doctor until the next time I went to him. It wasn't like I called them up and said, Is it okay? I just stopped. I don't care. I just stopped. And one of my line sisters, and I love all my line sisters, and one of them, she follows up with me periodically, and she was like, "Sherry, what's going on?" I'm like, "I ain't taking that medicine." She was like, "What?" So, one day, I don't know, like around January or something, because y'all, and this is what I tell my doctors all the time. I don't know who your other patients are, or whatever. It don't matter. Me, I have a lot to live for. I have a lot to live for. I have a lot that I still want to see. I have children that I want to see grow. I know it's God's will either way, but I don't need you to speed up the process. So, I tell them that and they listen, especially my I have to go to a cardiologist specialist and he really listens. He's like, "All right." Like, yeah. I don't know if behind my back he's like shaking his head or what, but I don't know. I'm just like, so I want to say it was probably like January, and I was just like, you know what? I'm good. I'm gonna live. Like I'm living. And I know how God works, and when He's ready for you, no matter what your age is, we all have an end date. He already knew it when we were born, and so we just living in the dash. I'm not gonna live in the dash waiting for the end date. Mm-mm. Nope. I'm not going to sit down. I remember when, my mother passed away and it was myself, my father, my husband, and one of my dearest cousins. We were all around her in the bed when she took her very last breath. And I don't know, like no one's been able to explain it to me, but at her like I want to say it was like a countdown. Seeing her take her last breath was like watching the New Year's Eve ball drop, the countdown, because I'm looking at the machine and it's counting down and it's like 10, 9. And then at some point, my mother sat up. She sat up. Yo, she sat up. And then she laid back down. And my cousin was like, "Wow, Aunt Jessie said she's not going out laying down." And I'm not going out laying down. Mm-mm. So I know my limits. I can feel it when it's too much, but I'm not going to not do it waiting for it to be too much. I'm just going to do it. If it becomes too much, I'll sit down, I'll rest, I'll wait it out or whatever. Because the one thing about my family, my family are warriors. You hear me? And I'm talking about like my husband, my kids. They're not going to just let you dwell like that. They going to be like, "Come on. Like what's going on?" So, I'm when I decided that, when I turned that corner and I was like, I'm not going to really talk about it. I'm going to take my medicine. I'm going to go to my doctor's appointments when I remember. No, I'm going to go to my doctor's appointments. I'm going to go because I have to get like echocardiogram things done or whatever. I'm gonna get all that done. I'm not gonna be reactive. I'm gonna be proactive, but I'm not going to stop living. I'm not. And when I did that, y'all, I started feeling better. Like I'm starting to feel good. And so I'm just doing me. I'm doing my thing. And I'm not just sitting around waiting for the end date. Nope. I'm all up in that dash. I'm all up in the dash. All right. um, and then another one was what to look for in a coach, and that got 15 views. Overcoming limited beliefs, and that got 17 views. Cultivate self worth, that got 19 views. Business pricing models for products and services, that got 14 views. Now I was expecting that one to get more because so many people in business, that's a challenge for them. How much are they going to charge? Wait, let me tell you. Let me see. So I'm trying to remember. um so there is like, I don't know how to say it without saying it, but let's just say there's two people I know that do similar things, right? And one of them charges 25K for like 6 moments together, 6 sessions. All right. It's not moments together. Y'all stop, stop. All right, just stop. And I know someone else, and that person charges a third of that. So the other person was like, yo, am I charging too less? What's going on? Like, are my prices not competitive? Like, why am I so low and they so high? Are they getting that? So I know in business, so many people are not pricing right, one way or the other, too much, too little, or not at all. So I thought that one, business pricing, was going to hit, and it's going to, just not today, but it's going to. Then I had a Friday live stream, Friday night live, Sunday's best live. Y'all, I want to do something around Sunday's best so bad. And let me see. I'm in the same way indeed. Not that I'm taking that because it's not good for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Listen to your bodies for real. I'm trying to tell you. Wait. um. Oh wait, I missed it. Where did it go? My computer is doing some things. I can't, because I can't see that. All right. Let me see. This is why I don't really like doing it on my computer. Let me see. Maybe that'll be better if I. All right. Okay, there we are. Ooh. Okay. Yes, the babies are growing up quickly. I know they are. So, like, I listen. I find myself when I'm with my kids, I'm just staring at them. I'll be like this, just staring at them, and it makes them a little uncomfortable. I know it. I don't care though. I don't care. It's just that I'm looking at them because I can't believe that they are the ages that they are. My youngest is 22. My center just turned 24. My oldest is 25. And I'm just like, when? When? It's amazing how that works. Yes, they do. They know what we're talking about. Blue heart. I mean, blue hen, blue. Okay. So you have a winery around you that sells that? Is it red or is it white or rosé? I can't with my heart condition, I really can't drink alcoholic. That's why I have to do mocktails. Y'all, mocktails is a thing. I can go anywhere. I can get anything just like you, just like whoever, and it'll look just like it and it'll taste just like it, just without the alcohol. And I love that because back in the day, like when I was a lot younger, before 21 or whatever, you had to only drink Shirley Temple, or ask for a Sprite with maybe some cherries in it. But now you can ask for everything that's on the list, but make it a mocktail. I had a Godiva chocolate martini that was a mocktail. That was when I was in Atlanta. I was so happy. That that gives me life. Okay, let me see if I can see that. I can't see it then. Oh, yes. I'm telling you. Yes. I'm sorry if you're looking at this on replay. I am putting the comments up on the screen. Moments together. Yes, precious moments together. Precious memories. Remember that back in the day? Then I had Monday motivation, effective communication for personal and professional growth. And that was 23 views. That was when I was 50 days in. So I have 40 more days. I was halfway through. Then I talked about the Sigma female leaders, and I need to do more on the Sigma female. That was about Transformation Tuesday, and that was 29 views because I have another video on what is a Sigma female, and that video has gone bananas. Oh my goodness. So I don't know why the interest all of a sudden around Sigma female, but then I had how to improve your SEO on YouTube. What's Up Wednesday? That was 14 views. Then I had advance your career with upskilling, thriving Thursday. That's 29 views. Look, I said I wasn't going to say all of them, but it looks like I am. So thank y'all for rocking with me. The good old days, freedom of 70s, 80s, childhood, Fireside Friday. That was 31 views. Who was Queen Charlotte Mecklenburg? Saturday shout out, and that was 377 views. People love a review on like TV shows, movies, things like that. And that's going on Bridgerton. I don't know if y'all have watched Bridgerton. It's on Netflix, and um it's about the royal family and Queen Charlotte in particular. And Charlotte, North Carolina is named after Queen Charlotte, Mecklenburg County, which is part of her last name. She has a hyphenated last name. You know, that's our county. Charlotte sits in Mecklenburg County. And the tale is that she has African American descent, is of that. She's laced with all different types of ethnic groups, but it's an interesting show. They do have a black character playing Queen Charlotte, and it's just really interesting. Especially if you love period pieces, but I love the modern twist that they put on it. They're on the third season. I preferred the second season the most because it talked about the young Queen Charlotte and how she grew up. Well, how she grew up as a queen, because I don't know, they didn't talk much about her previous life before she, became the queen. And I found myself when I would look at that second series, looking it up, Googling different things like how many kids did they have? Was King George really that messed up? Like what was really going on? Just trying to almost like cross check, fact check. But it's based on something real, but it's definitely a fictional twist for sure. Then I had things to consider when relocating, and that was 35 views. Motivate beyond procrastination, and that was 17 views. Transform in your personal relationship, that was 14 views. The reality of being on YouTube and growing slowly, which is what I'm doing, and that was 31 views. College graduates, careers to consider, that was 30 views. Heart and Brain, the stroke connection, and that was 105 views. And that's when I had a dear friend of mine's, Vashti, come on and talk about her experience because she had a stroke and a heart attack in her 40s. And, she just talked about the signs, how it happens, what happened afterwards. It was really a good one. And she also talked about the book that she put together to help other people, everyone really, keep all of your documents, your end of life, your insurance documents, everything in one place. Then I had May 2024 deep dive channel recap, and that was 33 views. Open door season and soar in 2024, and that was 16 views. Winners versus losers, how to take on a winning mindset, that was 16 views. Improve your communication for personal and professional growth, and that is 34 views. And also what I've learned is that lives are great. They're great to have. It's a great way to communicate with your team, your tribe, your subscribers, and learn more about them. They can learn more about you. But the real thing is the pre-recorded videos. Those typically get the most views. However, shorts, they get even more views, but because they're so short, they're not as impactful. However, shorts help people find you better. The next is what would you tell your younger self? That was 65 views. The importance of understanding love languages, and that was 27 views. Friday fireside chat, stress relief strategy, 28 views. African American Book Festival. And that's when I was live at the book festival interviewing some of the authors that were there. And I actually finished Black Obsessions, which was so good, such a cliffhanger. And I'm hopeful to have that author on next week to interview. And that was 47 views. African American Book Festival recap was 26. Self care tips for caregivers, that was 49. Filming on a budget, there are state tax breaks that have you covered, that's 36 views. Community wall, back down memory lane, 32 views. And I was going over some old community wall posts that I had. Happy Friday Eve, 15 views. Fireside chat, Bad Boys Ride or Die, my point of view. That was a recap of Bad Boys. Did any of you see the new Bad Boys? Let me know. That got 59 views. Would you tell? That was about seeing someone's other significant other out and about, and they may be with someone else, but not with them, but just with them. Would you tell? And that got 96 views. At the dock of the bay, that got 49 views. Tips to energize your workspace, and that got 17 views. Strategies successful entrepreneurs use to maintain determination, and that was the D for the alphabet, and that was 37. Least we forget, and that was Juneteenth, and that was 44 views. Dark Obsessions book review. I'm trying to tell you, the cliffhanger is sick. I looked, I was like, she has to have the second book done because I can't. I need to know, how does this, where are we going with this? Because this was such a cliffhanger, y'all. And that one got 16. The largest privately owned home in the United States, that got 119 views. That was the day before I went to the Biltmore. Now, these Biltmore estate videos, I did quite a few lives on the same day. So the first one was Vanderbilt estate exploring walking outside America's largest home. That was 24. The next was Vanderbilt's Biltmore estate exploring America's largest home, and that was 25. The next was Vanderbilt's Biltmore estate exploring the bedrooms in America's largest home. That was 28. And then I had Biltmore estate property. That was 9. I had a Sunday Night Live. That was 35. Monday Night Live, Let's Ride. And I started doing these ride lives that Slasher Chick got me onto. And they're faceless, but you're in the vehicle and you're just riding and you're talking. And that helps so much because, especially after a long day, and I'm like, listen, when I get home, I do not want to even think about pulling out any type of technology, trying to, even if I go faceless at home, I just wanted to get home, be with my peeps, and just unwind. I love to just unwind when I first get home. So I knew I had to do the live. So it was just so amazing to be able to do it as I'm driving home. Like, if you all are trying to figure out when can you do it, like, I don't have time. If you commute, that's your time. You could do it then. It made it so easy. Let's talk about it. And I got 26 views doing it like that. Let's talk about it Tuesday. That was 33. Oh, empathy, the link between self and others. And that was the E in the alphabet. That got 67. How is your physical energy? That was 20. And then yesterday, when did you fall in love with hip hop? And that was 73 views. Y'all, that was a walk down memory lane of my 90 days of going live every day challenge. Oh, y'all, it feels so good to have accomplished that. And it doesn't make me feel like I want to stop. It doesn't make me feel like, all right, I'm done. I'm so glad it's over. No, it makes me want to continue on. So again, tomorrow is going to be my Sweet 16. Not sure what I'm going to do, where I'm going to be, but I just, want to come on and just say what's up and thank everyone. It wasn't that it was a content creator that long, but I had my YouTube channel that long, and that's a long time. There's probably some 16-year-olds right now watching. I don't know, but that's how long I've been rocking with YouTube, and YouTube has been rocking with me. So I appreciate it, and that's all that I have right now for you. It's been my pleasure sharing it. You need to get StreamYard. Yeah, StreamYard is where it's at. StreamYard is really good. They have a free version. They have the basic. I have basic, and then they have an advanced membership. So the free version is free, of course. There's only a few things that you can't do, but it's basically good, especially if you're just trying it out. Then they have the basic, which is $20 a month, and I'm not sure how much the advanced version is, but it's really good. I love it. I love that you can post the comments on. So, depending on how you flow with your live, it allows the people that are coming to see the replay, they can also see, what other people were saying, because this also shows up. Thank you so much, Mrs. Newton. I appreciate that, your support, for sure. I know, 16, but look, it started with my kids. I didn't know what the math was. They brought math home for us to help them. I'm like, what is this called? Because I don't even know what is this. And what did your teacher say? Look, whenever my kids came home with something and I didn't know what it was, or my husband didn't know, we would be like, what did the teacher say? What's your notes say? What you write down on your notes? And so when they would tell me what the name of the math was, I would Google it, and then it would give me a YouTube video. And then that's kind of how I started, just from trying to figure out what was this math. And they would always have some type of teacher, instructor, tutor, whatever, at a board and going over the way that you do that particular type of math. And that was their tutor, basically. Hmm. Yeah, you should check and see how old your channel is too. Just go to your about page and it'll show you like you've been on YouTube since. And so mine's is since June 30th and whatever the year is, and it was 16 years ago. Let's see. Yes, right? What did your teacher say? What's your notes looking like? Let me see your notes because I don't even know. So we keep it real. I don't try to sugarcoat any of that with my kids. Yes, Google. Yes, they do. I know. They just missed that, the Google Chrome moment. I mean, when they got into college, of course, but in high school, it was still regular. So, but y'all, that's all I have for you tonight. Thank you so much for rocking with me. And the best is yet to come. That's what I say for sure. The best is yet to come. And I'm hoping that my platform will get, more professional in its look, my formatting, or, it may stay very similar because this is just who I am and nothing is perfect. I'm just trying to help provide you with resources and tools that will help you win. But in order to receive those, you have to practice. So whatever is thrown at you, whatever is given to you, whatever nugget you've received, be sure to implement it. If you're like, wow, that's a good idea, or, oh, that's an aha moment. I remember that. I forgot. I used to do that. Let me do that again. Don't just talk about it, be about it. All right. Take action. And you just never know where it'll take you. Don't even worry about where it'll take you because God has your steps ordered. It's just like that. Keep moving forward. Until we speak again, which will be tomorrow, everyone stay safe. All right. Thank you all for being in the chat. And for those of you watching the replay, thank you. I am Coach Sherry.